Hi people, at the top again, testing my latest bunch of lures. Here's a small deep diver. You see, it floats head down due to the heavy, oh, it even sinks with that big leader. Anyway, I won't be using a wire leader with this lure, I'll be using fluorocarbon. It's a trout and perch lure. So let's see how it swims. Yeah, very nice. Didn't expect something else because I've made a few of this style before. No complaints. As I said, trout and perch lure, this one. Made from PUR hard foam. It's a kind of refrigerator insulation material. Here's a banana. Floats up nice. Also swims as it's supposed to swim. No complaints. I've made quite a few of this banana lures before in different sizes. So I know about the tricks that you have to take care of to get them to perform well. As I said, all of these lures are not made from timber, but PUR hard foam. Here's another tiny trout lure. Haven't tested this one in the blank condition. Yeah, it's the heavy leader making them float head down. When later fishing them, I'll be using fluorocarbon. This one doesn't swim. Haha, not at all. Should have tested it in the blank condition. This is a reject. Proper. Too bad. I will try to dock down the lip. Make it a bit narrower. Maybe I can get it to work. But obviously the lip plane is too large. So the lure doesn't have a chance to wiggle. I will make the lip narrower and see whether I could still save it. Otherwise it's a reject. Should have tried it in a blank condition before, but I was too sure of myself. Okay, here's a minnow. Also floats up nicely and swims nicely. No complaints. I'm a bit disappointed about this other lure, doesn't perform, but there's a small chance that I could get it to swim. Here's another small lure with a pikey lip. Some call it a Z lip. Also floats up nicely and performs nicely. These kind of pikey lipped Z lip lures with this spindle shape, it's hardly anything goes wrong with them. They swim well time after time. Okay, these were the smaller ones. Now here's a larger one. Haven't tested this one as well in a blank condition, only trimmed them in the water bucket for swim level, but haven't tried them for action. Yeah, this one also performs. Yeah, it swims as I did expect it to swim. Okay, no problem. And finally, another bigger one with a real big crash diving lip. Yeah, floats up nicely and performs. Bathtub is too small for it. Oh, I see. That pulls to one side. have to adjust the tow eye. There, the bathtub is too small to test this one. Very lively action. Okay. Alright, this was my lure test for today. I hope I could get the small one to work. I would just make the lip narrower. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, people. Goodbye. Hi folks, down the workshop again after the bathtub test of my latest bunch of lures. Just wanted to give you some close-up shots of these lures, some words of explanation, so maybe you could gain some input and inspiration if you want to make your own versions, or you're planning on trying to make your own lures at home as well. Okay, let's start out with the lure that didn't work. I'm thinking I have to take some material off the diving lip at the sides here. That's the only chance to get it to work. It's my own fault. I should have tried the lure for swimming action in a blank condition. Would have saved me from all the painting work. I don't have much hope I could get it to swim, but such happens. My own fault, I won't complain. This lure has been turned from the PUR foam material on the lathe. This material is as buoyant as balsa wood, but it's not vulnerable against water seepage. Okay. Here's the big deep diver, also made from the same material. She has a really big lip, almost at the limit. Probably you've noticed that it doesn't only wobble this way, but also tips up and down like this, an action I do not like too much, but I guess it's just at the limit. Also made of the PUR hard foam with the wire harness passing all the way through. Okay. This lure, you may notice that the lip is quite long, but it still has its line tie on the tip of the nose. And it still performs well, as you might have seen. This is because this lip is narrow and pointed, so not so much water pressure can cause the lure to turn over and blow out. That's the secret of these pointed lips. They would still provide a good diving depth, but the wiggle would be moderate. They only cause a little roll. And still you can place the line tie on the tip of the lip. It's few commercial lures are made like that. I learned this from Australian lures, but also there's a version of the Finnish Niels Master sporting such a lip. Okay. Here's a little deep diver, Australian style. You saw that it swims head down quite a bit. If I would have used the plastic lip, it would have swam level, but it's okay like that. Casting performance would not be that good, but it's okay, it swims well. Banana lure, I've made quite a few of these before. They have weight embedded somewhere in the front to make sure that they would swim level and not with the lip and not tail heavy like this, but rather this way. If this is, okay, let's say this would be the water level. You don't want your lure to float like this, but level or slightly nose down. Then it's sure to perform well. If making banana lures, make sure the cross section is rather round or oval An over cross section should always be a tad wider than higher. Do not make it higher than wide. It won't work this way. Okay. This is simple bait made the same shape like the famous Rapala original. Not much to say about this one. Through wired, and the belly slot has been filled up with such pieces of such lead sheet here, which are used to ballast this kind of lures. Just cut it out with scissors, and in a blank condition I would put it in a water bucket and fill up with lead until I'm satisfied. After, glue the whole thing together. Lexan lip, all hand painted with acrylic paints. Have 3 layers of epoxy top coat as well. And finally, another last turn blank of PUR hard foam, also through wired, with the pikey style lip, or some people call it a Z lip due to its kinked shape. It's like a Z somehow. And lures with such lips are very reliable to swim time after time. Never had any rejects with these. And you can make them different styles. You see, the lower part of the lip is somewhat longer and pointing forward, so this causes the lure to be diving deep. In this case, if you have this deep diving lip, you do not want to make it too wide. And I'm working on a very big lure. Just compare the size, sporting the same lip, and you see this portion here is pointing more downward and it's not as long, so it makes up for a shallow diver. I have tested this big timber lure before in the blank condition. It's sealed with propionate, but compare the lip is wider than, a tad wider than the widest diameter of the body. For a shallow diving lip this is okay, but if you have a deep diving lip with the longer portion pointing forward, you want the entire lip to be a bit narrower than the body, otherwise your lure will overturn and blow out. That's what I've learned about these lips. Lures with such lips, it's quite versatile. You can get them to swim very shallow, but like this one swims quite shallow, doesn't have any ballast. But if I would have made a lip like this one to this one and add ballast to it, this lure would surely go down 15 feet plus. I estimate this large one to go down 2 or 3 feet, the way it is now. And this small one, for its small size, would travel down to maybe 5 feet, just because of this lip portion is a bit longer and pointing forward and still doesn't blow out. But make sure for a deep diver with a longer lower portion of the lip, make the lip narrower. For a shallow diver you can make it a bit wider, but only 10% wider than the diameter, the largest diameter of the lure blank, not more. But for deep diver, maybe make it a bit 10% to 15% narrower. The longer you want this lower portion to protrude, the narrower you make the lip. It's a very versatile lip. I like lures this style, vintage style, but they perform very well. Okay, some words of explanation these were. Hope you enjoyed my little video. Thanks a lot for watching. Goodbye.